try and keep this short, condense this. This is just one part of my testimony about my healings. Um, I remember at a young age there was a prophet that came from India, and when he laid hands on me, he said something that stuck with me. And one thing he said was that you were supposed to die in your mother's womb. And he didn't know anything about me. And when I had spoken to my mom, she said that um, when she was pregnant with me, I was overdue, like maybe by a couple weeks. And when I came out, I was purple and blue, and there was no oxygen going. Like my eyes were swollen. And that would be the beginning of my journey of God saving me every time. At the age of 8, I was getting very frail and skinny. I was losing a lot of weight. I started looking very pale, and I remember my fua was living with us at the time from Fiji, and she thought that something's not right. You needed to get her a blood test. So my mom took me in for a blood test, and I was at school, and I remember my mom coming and crying hysterically to pick me up from school, and they looked at my blood sugars, and blood sugar for any normal person should be between 5 and 8. Mine was 39. And I hadn't fallen. I was not unconscious. They were shocked that I even was alive. They said, you should have been in a coma. You should have been dead. God saved me then. At the age of 15, I started noticing my body was slim, but my stomach was swollen. And I remember, like, at my first job, people were coming up to me and asking me, at the age of 15, and I was very embarrassed. They kept asking me, how far along are you? How many weeks are you? So they were thinking that I'm pregnant. And I remember I just thought it was maybe like problems with my digestion, or I had like irritable bowel syndrome or something. But then as time went on, I went and checked it out, and I had a big cyst on my ovaries that was 7 pounds. So the size of a baby. That got removed. God saved all of my organs. Nothing was affected. I have a lot. As time went on, I went through a season in my life where I was married. Most of you know that. I was married. I went through a divorce a few years ago, and I went downhill. I had hit depression. I couldn't sleep. I had insomnia. I would sleep for maybe an hour or two, and I don't know how I functioned at work. I would be driving, and whether the light was red or green, I didn't know. I would just follow the person in front of me, and how I reached work, I have no idea. It was definitely God and his angels' charge over me. And that was like, out of all the times in my life, that was the hardest season of my life. My divorce and my separation. I was not sleeping, and I started losing so much weight. I lost so much weight that I had gone to the weight of when I was 13 years old. I was skin and bones. And God carried me through still. Anything could have happened. My blood pressure was very high, and the doctor, I would go to emergency and my whole body would swell up. I would retain water. And the doctor never told me that I had high blood pressure. But God still saved me. God saved my kidneys. God saved my body. God saved my organs. He kept me through everything. He saved me over and over and over again. And just 3 weeks ago, I went to a birthday party, and it was Karti's husband's birthday party. And it was so hot, but I was sitting and eating my meal, and I just remember sitting and taking my last bite. And after that, I don't remember anything. And according to all the people that were with me, and I was sitting beside a nurse, a registered nurse, and thank God, I prayed in the morning. I said, God, let me have a good time today. Protect us. Be with me. May your angels be with all of us. May your protection be there. And God did protect. What the enemy tried to do for evil, God's hand was there and his angels were there, because I had passed out and I was unconscious for 8 minutes. I had fallen, my face had fallen over, my eyes went backwards, and the next thing you know, I was on the ground and I had blacked out. And the nurse was there, and she was checking my pulse, and my heart rate was going down. And I waited for paramedics, and 45 minutes, no paramedics came. I got rushed to Richmond Hospital, and when the doctors did all my tests, they checked if I had a heart attack, they checked my cardiac enzymes, they checked my blood pressure, they checked my sugar, they checked all my organs, they did an ECG, and everything was normal. So I just see that I am highly favored by God. From the time of my birth, the enemy has tried very hard, but God has always succeeded. And he's always been there, and he's been my healer. He has been my strength. He has carried me through. Anyone that's gone through separation, divorce knows how hard it is. And it was like the hardest time of my life. A lot of my health issues came from that, but God sustained me every step of the way. And that's why I say that God's love is deeper than any husband, than any individual. We can, as people, we want love from human beings, but people's love is conditional, but God's love is unconditional. His love is everlasting. And I just want to thank God for carrying me through my hardest times. He was my comforter. He was my strength. I've been living by myself for 9 years, and God has been with me every step of the way. So I just want to give God all the glory, honor, and thanks. Thank you, Jesus.